This is Twit.
As expected and pretty much entirely leaked, Motorola announced the new Moto G, a more affordable version of the Moto X. The phone has a 4.5-inch 720p, 329 pixels per inch display, the Snapdragon 401.2 gigahertz processor, Giga RAM, 3G, not LTE, and a alleged all-day battery life. Chips with Android 4.3 Jelly Bean, but they guarantee that you'll get KitKat or 4.4 by January. Custom shells are available in multiple colors, and it's on sale today for £135 in the UK, as well as in Brazil, other parts of Europe, and it's coming in a few weeks to the rest of Europe and Canada. Other countries like the United States will get the phone early next year. Here in the U.S., the 8-gig version will sell unlocked for $179, and the 16-gig will run you $199.
Sony's launched an official PlayStation app for Android and iOS devices. The app gives access to the PlayStation Network mobile devices, allows you to chat with friends, get game alerts, and buy games from the PlayStation Store before pushing them to your PS4 to download and install when you're away from your console. The company has also bowed to some fan pressure, with president of Sony Computer Entertainment, Shuhei Yoshida, telling Giant Bomb that the PS4 development team is now working to add the ability to play both CDs and MP3 files in a post-launch patch.
Sprint CFO says that almost every phone available on the Sprint network next year will be able to support the Sprint Spark network. Now, Spark is Sprint's tri-band LTE network. The only exception is that Sprint's not sure if the next iPhone will be able to support all three bands because, you know, Apple doesn't talk to its partners.
They'll support it if you want that support. They'll tell you. Hey, if you're watching Netflix on a Roku or a PlayStation or a smart TV or a Blu-ray player, you'll notice they've got a new look. The redesign adds more images and info to the screens in the hopes that you'll watch more things. The new look will not come to Apple TV or Xbox because those manufacturers have stricter design restrictions.
Microsoft is eliminating its infamous practice of evaluating employees on a bell curve, an effort to bolster teamwork as the company restructures to focus on devices and services. Managers will no longer be required to rate workers on a fixed scale of performance rankings. Lisa Brummel, who's Microsoft's executive vice president of human resources, said in a memo to the company's 99,000 staff. The new initiative follows the One Microsoft strategy that was unveiled by outgoing CEO Steve Ballmer back in July.
Jawbone introduced a new wireless fitness tracker called the Up24. The wristband supports wireless syncing, finally, using low-energy Bluetooth. The Up24 also comes with an updated app that will give you recommendations like what time to go to bed to get more sleep. The Up24 costs about $150, comes in two colors, black and dark orange. It's being sold online today and hits Best Buy and Apple stores next week.
I usually go to bed earlier to get more sleep, but I don't have a Jawbone up. So, hey, if you live in the big city and you use Verizon, get ready for slower internet. During an investor conference, CFO Fran Shamo said the large bandwidth usage on their LTE networks in cities like New York, San Francisco, and Chicago caused many users to drop down to 3G. Verizon has the largest and oldest LTE network in the United States. LTE customers make up a third of its customer base, but use 64% of the bandwidth.
The AMD chip known as Kaveri finally has a release date, January 14th. The flagship desktop part for the FM2 Plus socket motherboards will be called the A10 7850K. It'll use 4 Steamroller CPU cores clocked at 3.7 gigahertz and built on an open standard, HSA, that allows different processors inside a system to work together to speed up compute tasks. Cost is still a mystery, as is whether it'll be sold as a standalone part or just in pre-built systems.
WikiLeaks has published a draft of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. That's a free trade agreement being negotiated by the United States, Canada, Australia, Japan, and many other Pacific Rim countries. Much like ACTA before it, the TPP is being negotiated entirely in secret. But unlike ACTA, which stood for Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement, the TPP is a wide-ranging trade agreement of which intellectual property provisions make up only a small part. But just like ACTA, the agreement includes stricter laws governing digital copyright and patents. The U.S. and Japan currently oppose a chapter that would balance those stricter laws with protection of the legitimate interests of the users and community.
Twitter is now allowing users to create curated timelines based on hashtags or topics. The feature is available for some on TweetDeck right now, with the full rollout over the next several days. Twitter also released an API that will let developers make their own apps that can create custom timelines. The API is being released in beta and will be made available to a small group of partners.